In this video, I'm going to give you a very quick but very thorough overview of each of the OET reading subtests. Reading Part A, Reading Part B, and Reading Part C. In this video, I'm going to explain to you everything you need to know about OET reading. So if you're new to OET or you just want to refresh your understanding, keep watching. So across the 3 subtests, there are 42 questions. And if you're aiming for a B or a 350 or hopefully higher, you need to get at least 30 questions right. After this video, make sure you click the link in the description below, go across to E2 Test Prep and take our OET mini mock test with feedback. It's the best way to start your preparation journey for OET. You get to do all the different subtests and you get feedback on your writing and you get to take a one-on-one speaking mock test with an expert teacher. Okay, great. Let's take a look at the first reading subtest you're gonna do on test day. Reading Part A. Reading Part A tests your ability to search read, to find particular bits of information, words, phrases, and or numbers under timed conditions. How it works is like this. You will receive 4 texts, text A, B, C, and D. Each text will be about a single topic, for example, iron deficiencies or something like that. Each text will differ slightly from one another. Text A might be about identifying causes of iron deficiency. Text B might be about treating children and infants with iron deficiency. Text C might be some sort of algorithm about identifying and managing adults with iron deficiency. Keep in mind that there will always be one text that is visual in nature, like a graph or a flowchart or something like that. Text D might be about intravenous iron replacement. But keep in mind the topic could be about anything. It could be about headaches or hernias or heart disease. Who knows? You will also receive 20 questions based on these 4 texts. The first series of questions are matching questions that will ask you in which text can you find information about. Then you will receive short answer questions and sentence completion questions. Now, you've only got 15 minutes to complete 20 questions, so we need to talk about time management for reading Part A. So you've got 15 minutes to answer 20 questions. That means you need to answer a question every 45 to 90 seconds. So this is not about careful reading. This is all about search reading. Now, some questions you'll get straight away because you'll find the right word or phrase almost immediately. But some questions will take time and you'll agonize over locating the word or phrase or deciding between 2 possible answers, in which case you should skip that question and come back to it later, as the more questions you complete, the more familiar with the text you'll become. So that's a basic overview of what you need to do and how you need to manage your time. Now we need to take a closer look at those questions. Reading Part A question types. So there are 3 types of questions in Reading Part A. Matching questions, short answer questions, and sentence completion questions. Let's take a closer look at those matching questions first. So you should always start first with these matching questions because they'll help to familiarize you with the 4 different texts and the information in each of the texts. For the matching questions, you'll see a set of instructions that say questions 1 to 7. For each question 1 to 7, decide which text, A, B, C, or D, the information comes from. You may use any letter more than once. Then you'll see a phrase that says, in which text can you find information about? And then you'll see a list of short statements such as considerations when treating children with iron deficiency. Okay, so can you imagine what you have to do here? You need to decide or identify in which text there's information about treating children with iron deficiency. The answer here would be B, and on your answer sheet there will be a blank gap next to the statement, and all you need to write here is A, B, C, or D. Bear in mind that, as the instructions said, you can use any letter more than once. So let me explain what that means. So for example, your answer sheet for the matching questions, when you've finished, might look like this. You might have B, B, A, C, D, or something like that. You can use the letters more than once. Okay, so the one we just looked at there was overly simplified. These can be actually pretty tricky, and this particular subtest really does require practice, even if you're fluent in English. And what you want to do when you're preparing is use good quality material. You don't want to use junk. So click the link in the description below and get your test prep materials from E2 Test Prep. All right, let's look at the next question type. Short answer questions. So after the matching questions, you're going to get some short answer questions, possibly sentence completion. It can switch sometimes, but it doesn't really matter. Let's take a closer look. So for short answer questions, you'll see a set of instructions that say, answer each of the questions with a word or short phrase from one of the texts. Each answer may include words, numbers, or both. So for this type of question, we're going to find a particular word, a phrase, and or a number from one of the texts and use it to answer a question, such as what level of serum ferritin leads to a diagnosis of iron deficiency. Now, a really critical thing here is when you have found that particular word, phrase, and or number, you need to transfer it from the text directly. You do not change it at all. If you happen to change it or misspell it, it will be marked as incorrect. So take it directly from the text and put it as your answer. So for example, if the answer in the text is 6 mg/kg, copy it exactly as it is, including the numbers and the slash. Or if the answer in the text is iron-rich foods, copy it exactly as it is, including the hyphen. Okay, so we've looked at the matching questions, we've looked at the short answer questions. Now let's look at the sentence completion questions. Sentence completion. So these questions are very similar to the short answer, except instead of answering a question, we're going to find a word, phrase, and or number to complete a sentence, and make sure it's being completed grammatically. The question and the gap will look like this. Like the short answer questions, you can fill a gap with a single word like vegetarians, a phrase like source of blood loss, a word and a number, or a number and a word, it doesn't matter what order, 50 years, or a phrase and a number, or a number and a phrase like women over 50 years. So just like short answer, when you take that word or that phrase and or number, you need to transfer it directly without changing it at all. You also need to make sure that the sentence makes sense. It needs to be grammatical and it needs to make sense in terms of meaning. Cool, let's just recap what we've learned. Recap. In OET Reading Part A, you will receive 4 texts, A, B, C, and D. Each text will be about a single topic like iron deficiencies or headaches. Each text will differ slightly from one another. One text will be visual in nature. You'll receive 20 questions based on these 4 texts. The first series of questions are called matching questions and will ask you in which text can you find information about blah, blah, blah. And all you need to do is write down A, B, C, or D onto the answer sheet. Then you'll receive short answer and sentence completion questions. With these questions, you need to take a word, phrase, and or a number and write it directly into the gap or to answer the question without changing it in any way. You'll have 15 minutes to complete 20 questions, and the type of reading you're doing is called search reading, and it's done quickly. Okay, you now understand how reading part A works. Let's now discuss the second reading subtest. Reading part B. So reading part B is very different from reading part A. In reading part A, you are search reading very quickly through text to find things, looking for things. In reading part B, you are reading something to understand it fully. In reading part B, you receive 6 questions that look like this. As you can see, there is a question prompt, 3 answer options, A, B, and C, and a text. The question prompt you receive might be an incomplete sentence like this one, or it might be a direct question with a question mark. The question itself will ask you to identify the gist or main point of the text, or understand a particular detail. The text will be from extracts of policy documents, hospital guidelines, manuals, or internal communications, such as emails or memos. In other words, they'll be the kinds of text that you'll find around your hospital or clinic. The answer options will all be plausible. That is, each answer option will contain words mentioned in the text, and they'll all be tempting. Only one, however, will be correct. You need to shade the circle A, B, or C for which one you think is correct. So the text that you have to read is dense. It's difficult. It's challenging to read. You'll need to read it and then reread it. And the answer options, 2 of them are going to be plausible misreadings. One of them will be correct, but the other 2 will be very tempting, and they'll all use words from the text. It's all about understanding the text fully, and especially understanding the question and answer options. If you want to learn a method to learn how to select the right answer, then make sure you check out E2 Test Prep's OET preparation course by going to www.e2language.com or clicking the link in the description below. The methods take you through a step-by-step process to help you identify the right answer and eliminate the incorrect answers. Let's talk quickly about how you can manage your time in Reading Part B. Reading Part B time management. So you actually complete Reading Part B and C together, and you'll have 45 minutes to do so. After you've done with Reading Part A in the 15 minutes, they take your question paper, so you can't look at it anymore. Then you get B and C in 45 minutes. You also get 22 questions in total. So that means you need to spend about 2 minutes on each of the questions, including that in Reading Part B. Reading Part B recap. So in Reading Part B, you get 6 3-answer option multiple choice questions. Each question has a short workplace text of between 100 and 150 words. The question will ask you to understand the main idea or a detail, and you should spend about 2 minutes on each question. Okay, fantastic. You've now looked at Reading Part A and B. Let's look at the final subtest, Reading Part C. Like Reading Part B, Reading Part C also requires you to read very carefully, word by word, phrase by phrase, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, for a full and complete understanding of what is being said. Now, Reading Part C is actually split into 2 sections. You receive 2 longer texts that are about 800 words each. Each text will be on a specific medical issue and will be sort of semi-academic in nature. We're not talking about academic journal articles. It's not going to be that sophisticated or complicated. We're sort of thinking about like semi-academic medical magazines or something like that. Something that the general public could read, but they probably have a specialized interest in healthcare. So the topics you might get might be on something like cellular therapies or health disparities or intestinal complaints or air pollution or point of care testing or any other medical topic like this. It doesn't matter what you get on test day, you don't need to have a specialized background in the topic. In fact, you should avoid any of your background knowledge at all because all of the answers will be contained in the text and you'll only be finding answers in the text itself. Reading Part C question types. Reading Part C is a simple 4-option multiple choice style question. You'll get 8 questions per text. The questions will ask you to read for explicit meaning, like what does X mean? Or implied or inferential meaning. What does the author mean by X? Or you'll read for the attitude or opinion. how does the author feel about X? Or you'll read for the relationship between ideas at sentence and paragraph level. Why does the author write X? Or you'll be reading to understand complex vocabulary references. What does the word X mean? Or to understand complex phrases. What does the phrase X mean? So these question types can get pretty tricky, and all it does require is a bit of practice, something you can do in our live classes. So in terms of what reading part C looks like, you'll see the long 800-word passage of text, which will be broken up into about 7 or 8 paragraphs. And then below that, you'll get your 8 4-option multiple choice questions. The good thing about reading part C is that the question order follows the same order of the paragraphs. And not only that, each question will tell you in which paragraph you need to read. For example, if you look at the third question here, it will say in the third paragraph, what does the author mean by blah, blah, blah? And then of course, you'll read in the third paragraph to find the answer. So this is going to help because all of a sudden it's not 800 words that you're reading. You'll be reading it paragraph by paragraph, and each paragraph will be about 80 to 100 words. Now, like reading part B, they're going to be plausible answer options. That is, words will be mentioned in the answer options that will also be mentioned in the paragraph. And some of them are going to be really tempting. Only one of them is going to be actually correct. Reading part C, time management. So as I mentioned before, you do reading part B and C together. You get 45 minutes. There are 22 questions, so that's about 2 minutes per question. Hopefully you can complete reading part B a little bit more quickly to leave a little bit more time for reading part C questions. Next steps. Okay, fantastic. So we've got a very good idea of what OET reading is all about. We learned about reading part A and how you have to search read. You've only got 15 minutes to do 20 questions. Then we learned about part B and part C. We've got 45 minutes to complete 22 multiple choice questions. Now you need to put it into practice. You really do need to click the link, go across to E2 Test Prep, do some high quality practice. And don't forget to click that subscribe button for more videos on YouTube. My name is Jay. See you later. Click the link in the description below to go across to E2 Test Prep and then join our live classes that are taught by expert teachers, where we cover reading part C, as well as A and B, and speaking and writing and listening.